Have you ever felt the shift when those who once overlooked your light suddenly seek to re-enter your life, now that your true power and purpose are evident? Share your journey. Your voice embodies the strength of divine truth, and it resonates with those who need inspiration. Remember, peace, blessings, and love surround you, and God's plan for your life will unfold in perfect timing. Those who fail to recognize your brilliance before no longer deserve a place in the radiant future you're creating. You are chosen for greatness, so keep rising, keep moving forward, and let your light shine even brighter. Have you ever pondered why some individuals cling to their silence, withholding closure even when their actions have caused you pain? It's as if they believe the ability to move forward lies solely in their hands, leaving you in a state of uncertainty and frustration. Their refusal to acknowledge your worth or provide the answers you seek is a desperate attempt to maintain control, as if your healing and growth depend on their validation. But in reality, it's a reflection of their own insecurities, not a measure of your strength. Chosen ones, today's message is vital because you are not merely another face in the crowd. You are among the spiritual elite, destined to transcend the patterns that bind the average. Your true strength lies in recognizing that closure is not a commodity to be traded with others. It's an internal journey that you control. When others withhold it, they reveal their desperation, clinging to the illusion of power, while you stand resolute, liberated from their grasp. Embrace your unique path, knowing that your ability to find peace within yourself is what sets you apart and propels you toward your divine purpose. Those who deny you closure are driven by an insatiable need for control, a compulsion born from their own insecurities that renders them oblivious to the harm they inflict. They recognize their wrongdoing, yet choose silence, operating under the delusion that ignoring the issue will somehow shield them from accountability. By withholding closure, they believe they can exert a psychological hold over you, keeping you entangled in their web of manipulation. But this facade only highlights their weakness. It's a desperate attempt to maintain power in a situation where true strength lies in honesty and resolution. It's a subtle form of emotional manipulation, designed to keep you tethered to their chaotic energy, even when the relationship seems over. They want you to feel incomplete, as if you require their validation to be whole. But here's the truth: your strength terrifies them. You've shown a resilience they cannot grasp, a freedom that disrupts their sense of control. They can't comprehend how you can move forward without their approval or explanations, and that shakes their foundation. Their need to maintain power transforms into an obsession. By withholding closure, they believe they can keep you ensnared in a web of doubt and confusion. They think if they refuse to acknowledge the pain they've caused, you'll forever linger in the shadows of what once was, endlessly questioning the past instead of embracing your new beginning. It's their desperate attempt to cling to a relevance that has long faded, trying to instill doubt in your mind about your choices and your worth. What they fail to grasp is that you, the chosen one, have already transcended their grasp. You've discovered your own closure, empowering yourself in ways they never anticipated. In rising above their manipulations, you've stripped them of the control they once wielded, and that's a reality they can't reconcile. Their frustration mounts as they watch you flourish, unable to comprehend how you've broken free from the emotional chains they thought would bind you forever. Your strength and resilience shine a light on their insecurities, leaving them floundering in the shadows of your newfound freedom. In their eyes, relationships are mere transactions, where every interaction comes with an expectation of payment, and closure serves as the final currency that balances the scales. But you, the chosen one, have shattered that illusion, revealing that true peace is not contingent on their approval or acknowledgement. Your inner tranquility emanates from a deep understanding of self, a strength that unnerves them. They struggle to comprehend that while they seek to manipulate and control through the illusion of closure, you have forged your own path, free from their constraints. You've shown that the real power resides in your ability to release what no longer serves you, and this autonomy terrifies them. They realize that they can no longer dictate the terms of your healing, and that revelation is a truth they cannot bear. Their entire framework of relationships hinges on the belief that closure is the ultimate tool for dominance, a way to keep others bound to their narratives. But when you defy that expectation, it disrupts everything they thought they understood. They're left grappling with the unsettling reality that you can release them without a second thought, that your healing doesn't require their approval or acknowledgement. This newfound independence flips their world upside down, plunging them into a state of bewilderment. How can you thrive without their validation? It shatters their illusion of control, leaving them grasping at shadows, unable to grasp the strength you possess, a strength that exists entirely outside their influence. What they don't comprehend is that their reluctance to provide closure speaks volumes about their own turmoil rather than your worth. Their refusal is rooted in their own insecurities, a sign of emotional immaturity that prevents them from facing the reality of their actions. By denying you the closure you deserve, they inadvertently expose their vulnerability and fear. Once you recognize this truth, their hold over you diminishes, and you realize that their chaos is not your burden to carry. You stand firm in your own strength, knowing that their struggles do not define you, allowing you to break free from the lingering shadows of their influence. At the core of their reluctance to provide closure lies a distorted perception of you, fueled by their own arrogance and insecurity. They mistake your kindness for weakness, interpreting your empathy as an invitation for exploitation. In their eyes, your capacity for forgiveness makes you a target, someone who will inevitably seek their approval and validation. This misguided belief allows them to rationalize their behavior, convincing themselves that they still wield influence over your life. Yet, what they fail to understand is that your true strength comes from recognizing your worth beyond their distorted lens. You are not defined by their opinions, and their attempts to control you only highlight their own fears and limitations. What they cannot comprehend is that your resilience stems from a deep-rooted self-awareness that transcends their attempts at manipulation. Your ability to navigate life without their approval reflects a profound inner strength that they can't grasp. While they cling to their distorted beliefs, you move forward with unwavering confidence, free from the chains of their expectations. You've cultivated a sanctuary within, where your worth is defined not by their recognition, but by your own journey of growth. This disconnect only deepens their confusion as they watch someone they once dismissed thrive beyond their influence, embodying a peace that remains unshakable despite their efforts to hold you back. In stepping into your power, you become a mirror reflecting their insecurities back at them, forcing them to confront the shadows they've long avoided. While they expected your dependence on their validation to keep you in a cycle of doubt and confusion, they are met with an unexpected clarity that only amplifies their internal chaos. You embody a strength that defies their assumptions, revealing that kindness is a shield, not a weakness. This juxtaposition of perceptions leaves them grappling with the realization that their manipulative tactics have lost their potency. As you flourish in your truth, they are left to wrestle with their own limitations, struggling to comprehend how someone they deemed vulnerable has transformed into an embodiment of resilience and self-assurance. As they wrestle with their doubts, questioning the sincerity of your past affection, you stand firm in your clarity and purpose. Their failed manipulations have stripped away their illusions, exposing the void they inhabit, while you rise with a unique blend of ambition and resilience that sets you apart. You are not meant for the sidelines. You belong at the forefront, ready to claim your place among those who aspire to greatness. This is your moment to embrace the Illumination Inner Order by subscribing, a gathering of true visionaries and changemakers. Here, ideas flourish and connections spark transformative growth. You're not just joining another group, you're aligning with a collective that recognizes the power of your journey and the brilliance of your potential. The Illumination Inner Order offers a treasure trove of transformative insights that elevate your journey to unprecedented heights. Here you gain access to cutting-edge manifestation techniques and exclusive knowledge that can revolutionize your approach to life. This isn't just about receiving information. It's about a powerful exchange where your commitment meets unparalleled resources. Expect to engage with content that resonates deeply, stripped of distractions and designed to fuel your ambition. With every interaction, you're not just absorbing wisdom, you're actively aligning with a community that thrives on excellence, ensuring that you receive the very best as you forge your path forward. You've witnessed the landscape, and it's clear that nothing else stacks up to this opportunity. Don't linger on the periphery any longer. Take the leap and become part of the Inner Order today. By joining, you'll unlock access to the Star Chamber, a unique platform where your voice matters. Here, you can shape the topics we explore, ensuring that every piece of content aligns perfectly with your aspirations and needs. This is your chance to influence the narrative and engage deeply with resources that truly resonate with your journey. Embrace this moment. The next chapter of your transformation awaits. They once operated under the illusion that they had control over you, convinced that their manipulation had locked you in a cycle of longing for answers. Now their confusion deepens as they confront the reality of your silence. It's a distance they never anticipated, a boundary that baffles them. They wanted you to remain entangled in their web of doubt, but it's them who are now ensnared by their own insecurities, unable to move past their childish games. What they fail to realize is that your silence is not a plea for understanding, but a powerful statement of self-awareness. Your emotional distance is not a sign of weakness. It is a testament to the strength you've cultivated in reclaiming your space and peace. You've discovered your own closure, a profound sense of peace that no longer relies on their validation. As you continue to forge ahead, they find themselves caught in a web of their own making, plagued by uncertainty and regret. Your emotional detachment acts as a mirror, reflecting their inadequacies and insecurities back at them. The realization that you've moved on without needing their explanations shakes their sense of importance, leaving them grappling with the unsettling truth that your strength and independence dwarf their attempts to control your narrative. For someone who has relied on manipulation and control, this awakening is akin to losing their grip on reality. They've always envisioned themselves as the orchestrator, pulling the strings of those around them, but with your newfound independence, those strings have been severed. Suddenly they find themselves exposed, their identity laid bare, revealing the cracks in the fragile facade they constructed. The belief that you were dependent on them for validation crumbles in the face of your strength, forcing them to confront the uncomfortable truth. It was never you who needed them. It was them who clung to the illusion of control, now rendered powerless. It's their desperate need for your emotional reliance that reveals their own fragility, leaving them vulnerable when you break free. Stripped of your dependency, they must face the stark reality of their emptiness, an unsettling truth they've long evaded. Those who withhold closure often exist in a state of spiritual numbness. While they may appear whole on the outside, within lies a void, hollowed out by the very darkness they project. Lacking the emotional depth to provide genuine closure, they remain disconnected from their own humanity, devoid of true empathy, compassion, or remorse. This is why they resort to manipulation and games. It's all they know, a facade to mask their inability to connect on a meaningful level. As you begin to recognize them for who they truly are, it becomes evident that their failure to provide closure is a mirror reflecting their own spiritual barrenness. These individuals, perpetually incomplete, function from a space steeped in fear and insecurity, projecting their turmoil onto you in a misguided effort to keep you tethered. What they fail to grasp is that you, the chosen one, are unshackled by their shadows. They serve as obstacles along your journey, testing your resilience and driving you deeper into your spiritual calling. Their presence is not meant to support you. Rather, it is designed to challenge your worth, dim your light, and obscure your path, all while you rise above, discovering the strength and clarity that lie within. What they fail to grasp is that each hurdle they attempt to place in your way only deepens your connection to your authentic self. Their efforts to obstruct your progress inadvertently propel you forward, revealing their true nature as spiritual parasites. They thrive on your uncertainty, your quest for answers, and your yearning for peace, hoping to keep you ensnared in a never-ending cycle of seeking closure that will never arrive. But when you finally break free from that need, halting your search for validation from them, their influence dissipates. Their inability to provide closure is not a personal affront. It's merely a reflection of their own spiritual void. They cannot offer what they themselves lack: emotional depth and genuine understanding. Recognizing this truth empowers you to liberate yourself from their manipulation, reclaiming your peace and moving steadfastly along your path. The truth is that these people serve only as barriers, attempting to obstruct your journey toward your spiritual gifts. Their attempts to undermine your worth are futile. You were never meant to be ensnared by their emotional manipulations. Instead, you were destined to rise above their challenges, transcending the obstacles they set before you. Each setback they impose only serves to fortify your resolve and propel you closer to your divine destiny. As you move forward, you reclaim the power that has always been yours, shining brighter as you embrace the path laid out for you, free from their constraints and fully aligned with your true purpose. Their darkness was never yours to bear, and once you understand this truth, you reclaim your power. These spiritually stagnant individuals attempt to drag you down to their level where they feel comfortable, but you, the chosen one, are a beacon of light. Your energy transcends the low vibrations that confine them, illuminating the path ahead. By standing firm in your radiance, you render their manipulative tactics completely ineffective. You rise above their influence, empowered by your own vibrancy, and in doing so, you shine even brighter, leaving them to grapple with the shadows they've created for themselves. As you forge ahead on your journey, their influence diminishes, fading into mere whispers of a past chapter. Lessons learned and tests overcome. They become unable to reach you, or you have ascended beyond their limitations. While they remain ensnared in their repetitive cycles of darkness, you embrace the freedom to fully explore your spiritual potential, unscathed and undefeated. With each step, you leave behind the weight of their negativity, soaring higher into the light that nourishes your soul, where only growth and abundance await. The notion that closure is essential for healing stands as one of the greatest fallacies many cling to. Often perceived as the final key to unlock understanding and tranquility, closure is, in fact, a gift rather than an entitlement. Not everyone has the right to offer it, particularly those who have caused you harm. Those who withhold closure do so out of their own fractured existence. They cannot provide the peace you seek because they themselves lack wholeness. Their attempts to project their own disarray onto you only serve to highlight their inability to confront their own shortcomings, leaving you free to find your healing within. But here's the reality. You, chosen one, possess an inherent strength that allows you to move forward without needing closure. You've always been capable of rising above, navigating your path without relying on the answers they choose to withhold. In fact, the moment you release the need for closure, your power amplifies. You shatter the chains of emotional stagnation that ensnare so many. While others find themselves endlessly pursuing answers that may never arrive, you break free from the cycle of seeking validation, stepping confidently into your own journey, unencumbered by their limitations. Your true power lies in your unwavering ability to cut toxic individuals from your life, free from any need for their apologies or explanations. By letting go of the pursuit for closure, you snip the final tether of control they held over you, reclaiming your strength. The reality is that you were never truly confused. Their manipulations aim to make you question your worth and decisions. Deep down, you always recognized what was necessary for your growth, possessing the resilience to move forward. They sought to cloud your vision, convincing you that their validation was essential for your healing. But the truth is that your healing has always resided within you, firmly in your control, not theirs. When you choose to move on without glancing back, you liberate yourself from their grasp. You realize that closure isn't something you need from them, it's something you cultivate within. By embracing your inner strength, you fully embrace your journey forward. The act of forgoing their validation becomes your declaration of independence, paving the way for your own healing and growth. In this choice, you show that you possess the emotional resilience and power to create your own peace, proving to yourself that you are more than capable of thriving on your own terms, unbound by their influence. This newfound autonomy is your most potent defense against those who sought to maintain their control over you. While many chase closure, caught in a cycle of confusion and dependency, you, chosen one, recognize that true liberation stems from within. The answers you've sought were never meant to be found in their hands. They were always embedded in your own spirit. With the clarity of your inherent strength, you become a force to be reckoned with. Their manipulation relies on the illusion that withholding closure will keep you anchored in uncertainty, but you've shattered that illusion. No longer bound by their narrative, you confidently navigate your path, free from the emotional tether they once tried to impose on you. What they don't grasp is that by withholding closure, they're only cementing their own defeat. Their misguided attempts to manipulate and control you end up ensnaring them in the darkness they sought to impose on you. When you choose to walk away, unshackled by their need for validation, you leave them wallowing in the very despair they tried to inflict. They mistakenly believe that their refusal to provide closure will keep you bound to them, but in truth, it marks the start of their unraveling. By underestimating your strength and resilience, they've set themselves on a path toward their own downfall, blinded by their arrogance while you rise unburdened and empowered. Every tactic they've employed to manipulate and control you ultimately spirals back to haunt them. The lies they've spun, the games they've orchestrated, and the control they've desperately clung to all crumble under the weight of their own deception. While they find themselves ensnared in the very chaos they engineered, you break free, unencumbered by their shadows. Your path ahead is illuminated, filled with possibilities that their darkness can never touch. And as they linger in the wreckage of their own making, you rise into a future that is wholly yours, defined by your strength and resilience. The universe has a remarkable way of restoring equilibrium, ensuring that for every attempt they made to manipulate you, the repercussions will echo back to them with amplified intensity. The very darkness they tried to cast upon you morphs into their own suffocating prison, ensnaring them in the intricate web of deceit they crafted. They find themselves unable to escape the karmic repercussions of their actions, bound by their own choices. The beauty of it all is that you don't need to lift a finger. There's no need for revenge or lingering thoughts about them. The universe will orchestrate their downfall, allowing their manipulative schemes to unravel on their own, leaving them trapped in the very shadows they once wished to impose on you. As they linger in the shadows of their own making, you ascend into your light, untouched by their attempts to hold you back. Their failure to provide closure only fuels your determination. They mistakenly believe they've triumphed, but the truth is, their victory is a mirage. With each refusal to acknowledge your worth, they bury themselves deeper in their own despair, while you, chosen one, stride confidently toward the abundant future awaiting you. The very energy they once devoted to controlling you now spirals into their undoing, as you leave them behind in a haze of their own negativity, liberated to embrace the fullness of your true destiny. Each scheme and manipulation crumbles because they lacked the solid ground of authenticity. Their unwillingness to confront the truth ensnares them in the tangled web they wove, and with every desperate attempt to cling to their illusion of control, they plunge further into the chaos they've created. In stark contrast, you rise unscathed, having outgrown their petty games. While they grapple with the repercussions of their choices, you advance with clarity and unwavering purpose. The elegance of karmic justice lies in your effortless progress. Your growth and resilience are all the universe needs to orchestrate their reckoning, allowing you to flourish while they remain ensnared in their own darkness. Chosen ones, you embody a unique strength that defies comprehension. Your ability to seamlessly integrate both light and shadow grants you an unparalleled resilience, enabling you to navigate life's complexities with a wisdom that leaves others in awe. This exquisite balance allows you to approach challenges with a compassionate heart while standing firm in your power. Those who seek to manipulate or control cannot fathom how someone so kind can also be so formidable. It is this very duality that fortifies your presence and makes you an unstoppable force. You shine brightly, illuminating paths for others, all while remaining untouchable by the darkness that seeks to bind you. Embrace your role as the unexpected hero of your own narrative. While they may cast you as the villain in their distorted tale, their perception is clouded by their own insecurities and manipulation. They label you as the antagonist simply because you refuse to conform to their expectations, choosing instead to reclaim your autonomy and move forward without their approval. This boldness, this refusal to be tethered to their chaos, is your true strength. You are not the villain. You are the catalyst for your own liberation, demonstrating that true power lies in the courage to walk away from toxicity and to forge your own path. Own your role as the villain in their tale, for it signifies your strength and conviction. Their narrative, steeped in deceit and manipulation, is not a reflection of your truth, but a projection of their fears. You owe them nothing. Your power lies in your capacity to walk away unshaken, to release toxic relationships without needing to justify your choices. In doing so, you reclaim your narrative, demonstrating that true strength is found in setting boundaries and prioritizing your well-being over their misguided perceptions. Your ability to sever those ties is not a sign of weakness, but a declaration of your unyielding self-worth. What they dread most is your unwavering independence, the way you navigate life unencumbered by their emotional turmoil. They can't stand the realization that you've discovered your own inner peace, rendering their games and manipulations powerless. Your ability to thrive without their validation sends tremors through their fragile sense of control, exposing the emptiness they've been desperately trying to fill. That self-sufficiency and resilience you embody is your ultimate strength, a radiant testament to your growth that they cannot comprehend or confront. It's this freedom that terrifies them, for it marks their defeat and your triumph. This harmony between light and dark is your shield and sword, rendering you invincible in a world that often demands conformity. You refuse to be boxed in by their narrow definitions of morality. Instead, you embrace the complexity of your existence. Your true strength lies in navigating life authentically, guided by your own principles rather than the noise of others' judgments or attempts to control you. This unwavering self-determination not only amplifies your power, but also propels you forward with a momentum that is impossible to hinder. In a landscape filled with illusions and distractions, your clarity makes you an unstoppable force, unyielding in the face of adversity. Their fear of you stems from their realization that you are beyond their reach, that they cannot dictate the terms of your existence. They sought to frame you as a helpless victim, someone yearning for closure and validation, but you have stepped into the role of your own hero, fully embracing the complexity of your being. In this transformation, you embody everything they dread, a formidable force grounded in your own truth, impervious to their manipulative games. Closure, once seen as a coveted prize, now reveals itself as a crutch for the weak, a tactic meant to ensnare you in confusion. By severing that dependency, you reclaim your power, leaving them to grapple with the emptiness of their own attempts. You've already triumphed the moment you chose to forge your own path, unshackled from their expectations. Let them suffocate on the closure they thought they controlled. You've always been free. Trust in your intuition and embrace your inherent strength, for the journey ahead is yours to navigate. Those who withhold closure are merely revealing their own weaknesses, ultimately harming themselves in the process. Your path has always been illuminated by your inner wisdom, and now is the moment to stride forward confidently, with or without their validation. Let their attempts to control you fade into the background as you focus on your own growth and purpose. You are not defined by their choices. Instead, you are empowered by your ability to rise above, forging a future that aligns with your true self.